When it comes to soot double or side vent, it can be a little bit complicated. That's why in this video I decided to give a tip of iceberg on how to resolve this complication. So after watching this video, if you find value on it, don't forget to leave a like, and if you are new to my channel, please look below the video, share subscribe button, hit on that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to all so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Let us now proceed to work. So this is the back. I will follow this, the mark of the chalk. This is the mark of the chalk. I will follow it. I run the stitch following the mark of the chalk. So as I'm going to the table, I will go with the back, but the next we also run stitch on the lining. I will also run stitch on the lining, but before I run stitch on the lining, I will take this to the table and use this to trace it out. And the reason, there is a question that they ask about the lining. Someone asks about the lining, why did I give much allowance while cutting the lining? So I will show you the purpose for that at the table. Let's move together right now. So I am on my table right now, ironing table, and this is the back. I've already placed the back. I want to see it. This is the back of the suit. This is the back of the suit. So I will place the lining. I'm going to mark it, to mark the place I'm going to sew the lining from. This is the two lining. Let me stretch here. So this is the two lining. They are together. So what I will do, I will place this, the back on top of it. Place the back on top of the lining. So you can see it. So I'm going to draw where my stitch will run. I will draw here following the mark on the distance, but I will draw about 3 inches. So I mark about 2.5 inches to 3 inches. There's a 2.5 inches. I will now mark it this way. Then I will measure again. Measure 10 inches. I mark again. So the place I'm marking now is where my stitch will run through. So I decide to place it on top of this to mark. So you can see it. So this is it. You can see the mark of the chalk. So it will go this way and follow like this. Now You may be asking, why did I have to give a cut here and a cut here to run stitch like this? The purpose is that our back is to give allowance for the back, so that when you bring your hand together, that the back side will not a kind of be holding you. It will not hold you at the back. So this allowance will make it to give you space, so that even if you stretch your hand, the lining will stretch, giving the allowance inside. So this is the purpose for this. So we now open press this. I take the lining by the side. We need to sew it. So we open press this. Remember to always make use of your stretcher or your smoother. It will enable the smoothness of whatever you are sewing. So the next thing I will do is to fold this. These are the folding allowance, the 2 inches for the folding allowance. So I will fold it along that line. I will also fold here. I will send here inside. You also do the same here. So this is just for the back. I'm done with this for now. Plus I folded here with iron, and also this is the back, so I folded here and also here, so with this place, and I also folded this and this. So this is just the back. I will sew it, but before I start sewing it, let me get the lining, and I will mark the lining. So this is the lining, this is the lining, and I will show you the reason why I gave space on this side of the lining. You remember, while cutting the lining, the lining is on this area is a kind of longer and wider than the main back panel. So I will place it, I will fold my fabric this way. Well, for the back panel, this is the back panel, I will fold it this way. Then I will place it on top of the lining. I place it on top of the lining and align it to be equal. I want you to see something. Let it be equal on every side. You can see the excess by the side here. So I will use my chalk to draw line to mark it. So I'm going to mark it. I will mark here, and I will still push it downward, making sure here is also equal. I will also mark here. The place I'm marking, I'm following the stitch, this stitch, that's what I'm locating, so I'm following it. So having gotten that to these 2 points, what I will do is that I will get my measuring stick and I will run a line on the measuring stick. I place it. This is the place I marked. Pardon me, this is the place. This is the place I marked. So I will place my rule at this point, and I will locate also this point. So I will now draw a line, because I'm going to follow that line while sewing. I'm going to follow the line while sewing it, so you can see the line. So, but that's not all. I will mark out 2 inches from the top. Mark out 2 inches from the top. I want you to watch very carefully. These 2 inches. So this is the reason why I gave the allowance. I want you to watch very carefully on this area. Then I will measure 10 inches. This 10 inches. Now while sewing, I will run my stitch this way. Let me mark this place. I'm going to run my stitch this way, and I will run this way and follow this line and enter here. I will now finish up the sewing. Why did I give this space? Why didn't I sew it straight? Now when you look at the back of the suit, so you know that your body is not static. Sometimes you like to free your hand. So while doing those exercise of freeing hand or stretching your body, instead of the lining to draw your back, so as you try to stretch your back, this place will be open, giving that space for the stretching, so that the lining will not hook you at the back. So I say, this suit is tight at the back, or is at the right arm side. So just this space is just for that purpose, this space. So I will start to run the stitch right now. So this is it. I'm going to iron it. While ironing it, I will push it on one side. I'll just iron it this way. So this is the way I'm going to place it to iron. So after ironing, look at the thing I'm trying to say. When you try to stretch your back, the lining will expand, and when you keep it straight, when you are straight, then we go back to the normal shape. So it gives space for that expansion, so that this area will not be holding you at the back. So that's the purpose for this. So I will take it to the iron to iron it right now. So this is it. This I have just ironed it. You can see how it is. This is the back. So the next thing I will do now is to attach the back to the lining to the back. But before I do that, I will reduce the lining from the bottom. Look at, I join this is the top. The lining is equal at the top side. So, and when you look at this point, so I'm going to reduce it. The reason for reducing this, because of this, as we fold here, so when I join this on this side, the lining will not be too much at the front side. So I'm going to reduce the lining at about let's say 1.5 inches. Let's say 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches. So I'm going to run stitch on this area. Remember that we folded this side on our previous class. So I'm going to hold it this way. See, my hand is grabbing this side, and if you look at here, there is a kind of L form on this side. So at that point I will hold it soon, then I will turn it. My hand is still there, my right hand is still holding it. Just watch very carefully. Then I will hold here. I release this one, and I will hold it back. I'm turning it to the front. I hold it back. Now look at this line. This is where my stitch is going to run. This line that my ironing have created here, this is where my stitch is going to run. I'm going to run the stitch on it. So this is it. If I turn it, this is the way it's going to be. But I'm not going to leave the surplus inside that way. This is the way how it's going to look like. This is how it's going to be. So but I will trim this. I will trim this out. The surplus, I'm going to take it out, and I will take it to the table to open press here. Open press here before attaching the lining on it. But let me also run stitch on this side for you to see how it is before going to iron to sew. You hold here together, then you turn it. Still take it out. So I'm going to take it to the table to open press it. Thereafter I will bring it for you to see how it is. So this is it. This is how it is. You can see it, and this is the back. So I'm going to attach the lining on it right now. So I will bring the lining to attach on it. So I'm going to trim the lining a little bit, 3 inch out of the distance of the lining. So I will take about ½ inches out. So I want you to watch very carefully. I place this on top of the back panel. This is the joining line. With the joining line of this, the back panel, to make sure together. So then is to start running the stitch. I will run the stitch, but before I start running the stitch, I will put interface. The interface, put it on it with the rough edge facing the rough edge. This is the rough edge, and you have the interface have 2 places, 2 faces, the rough and the smooth area. The rough edge, which contains the gum, will be facing upward. So I place it. So I'm done with this. I will take it to the table, ironing table. So I will iron it and fold it, and you will see how I'm doing it. So let's move to the ironing table right now. So we are on our table right now. So, and this is the back panel and the lining which I have joined. So what I will do is that I will come here first. I will take I will gum it first, but let me apply another fabric of it for the burning of the stain. So you can next thing I will do, I will bring this, bring it close. We project about half inches downward of the lining. You can see it. Then I will also use my iron to fold here, but if you check this, you will see that the lining is more than the panel, the back panel. So I will cut this excess out. So I will cut it out. I will also cut here. Then I will fold here. I will also fold here. So I will fold here too. So you can see how it is. So what I will do next is to take it to the ironing, to my sewing machine. I will now run stitch according to this which I have folded. So I will start by running the stitch. From this place I have folded with iron. The first thing I will do is that I will place my hand here. Then I will pick the vent together with the lining. Then turn it. Watch very carefully. remember we put interface here. My interface will be here. Just as I put interface on the bottom area, the interface is supposed to be here too. An issue. I don't think that thing sold. My tray just went out. So I will rerun the stitch. And I will run stitch here. Let me turn it and see how it is. So after I finish running on this area, I will take it to the table to come here, to iron here, so that here we also be gummed. So but that will be after I finish running on this area, after I finish running stitch on this area. So I will still hold this one. I will also put interface here. So I will now take it to the table, ironing table, to iron this area so that it will be smooth and flat. So you can see how the lining is. I just finished joining the lining. So I will now bring the front. I will join the back with the front right now.